2024, it is time for the Adam and Eve theory to go.
Hey, smack that
It is
like
time
button.
for this Adam
Smack
and
that
Eve
subscribe button.
mind frame to go. This is an elementary school style education or thought process, however you want to put it. But thinking that it was one man and one woman, that is elementary school level thinking. I don't care if you're a grown ass man. I don't care if you're an old ass man, old ass woman. You know, I no disrespect to y'all. No disrespect to nobody's mind. But we gotta wake the fuck up. Thinking that it was one man and one woman and it populated the whole world, that is elementary school level thinking. That is the way the colonizer wants you to think. That's who gave you that theory. Adam and Eve. First of all, we gotta stop thinking that all people came from Africa. That all people, and it was Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden, and they was in Ethiopia. That's everybody's story. They want to stick to that. It was two people in Ethiopia, and God put them in the middle of Africa because that's where all the animals at. That's where all the fish at. That's where all the fruits and abundance, everything at. And it ain't nothing nowhere else on earth. You know what I'm saying? That's what we've been taught. But y'all have to understand that it's a lot to come with believing that all people come out of Africa. That Adam and Eve shit. And it's a reason why the colonizer would want you to believe that. Because he also wants you to think that he come from Africa. And that he come from you. And that he your brother. And that he got it just as much right to be in Africa or any other piece of land on planet Earth. Because he a person just like you. That's why when he colonized your ass, you ain't got no problem with it. Because you just like, so be it. Oh well. We all brothers anyway. It's his land too. The indigenous people just don't matter no more. And being indigenous or anything like that shit don't matter no more when it come to Adam and Eve. Because you from Africa anyway. That land you own ain't yours anyway. When you run into a brand new island and you meet some people and they black people and they look like me and you, your first thought is, oh, they from Africa. That ain't they land anyway. They from Africa. Cause we've been taught this fucked up ass Adam and Eve theory, and the shit ain't to me it's not true. I disagree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't think we all come from two people. I don't think we all the same. I think like just like any other animal, it's different breeds of other animals because this is just what the world produce. I mean, you go in the water, there's a lot of things you can't explain in the water. There's a lot of things that fly around the air you can't explain. There's a lot of things that walk around on planet Earth you can't explain. A lot of stuff we haven't even discovered yet that we can't explain. But what we can see is that we all are a product of this planet. We all need some type of living life form to eat off and feed off of on this planet to survive. And it's a lot to do with nature and earth and having a keen sense of Mother Earth and respect for Mother Earth, with brown skinned people because we from these tropical zones of the world. Anywhere you go and bump into these tropical lands, these so-called Bahamas and Brazil, anywhere, Jamaica, Africa, anywhere in these hot lands, you're gonna bump into dark skinned people. So we gotta understand that it was a plot twist for them to really sit here and have you believing that all people come from Africa. Cause guess what? Who in Africa right now? All right, let just I just want right now just look at the fact that Europeans have been in America or have been in Canada, way before Columbus. And I believe the year 1021, the Vikings was in the Canada area, which is proof and showing that anybody can look this up. It's according to this article here in the year 1021. You can always look this type of stuff up and see it for yourself. But according to this article, the so-called Europeans, white man was already coming over here before Christopher Columbus. So if this is true, I'm pretty sure they already knew about these lands over here, and this is proof of their route on how they got here. They didn't just sail across the ocean. You can on this type of route, you can land hop from Greenland to Finland, from Britain, all that. You can land hop all the way over to Canada. You ain't got to be on the water that long. You damn near can see the little bitty pieces of land as you go. You know, after a few little days of sailing or whatever. But this right here is showing me proof that these so-called Europeans or foreigners, white people over here. No offense to white people out there, nothing like that. I'm just saying that they came over here on boats and shit. They not originally from over here, so we know that for fact. Now, when it comes to us, we can't seem to figure out how we got over here or why we over here, or are we really from over here? It's a lot of speculation, a lot of bickering, and going back and forth with a lot of platforms right now about this subject. And me personally, I just can't understand why we can't let go of this slave mentality. Like why are we so in love with being slaves? Like we want to be slaves, we want to be in chains, and we was on boats and they brought us over here in 400 years. We so attached to this, but I understand it because we Christians. A lot of us are Christians, so we've been taught that, this is the truth and this is what you need. You can't steer away from this book. This book is the truth and all that, all that nonsense. But when you can step outside of that book and understand that God is not in the Bible, y'all have to understand that. Once you understand that God ain't in that Bible, then you can step outside and start seeing what the hell going on and why these Europeans over here, what's they plot, what's they plan. Because the shit all really break down to them controlling your land and your natural resources. But like I said, when it comes to us, we can't really understand where we come from. Now, if you just take a look at indigenous people from all over the world, anywhere, all over the world, I'm gonna just be real. A lot of indigenous people look like me. Look like me, and you look like dark-skinned people. I mean, when you go to the Bahamas, you go to Haiti, Jamaica, Brazil, the South Pacific up through there, Australia, Africa. I mean, you go all over the world, and these people look like, they dark-skinned people. Some got curly hair, some of their hair kind of straight. Some of them a little lighter than some of them a little darker. Like it's not just specifically one look. I mean, it's all different types of looks of dark-skinned people. But all these dark-skinned people have something in common. And they all are from the tropical regions of the world. Okay? Now, what y'all have to understand is that Caucasian people are not from the tropical regions of the world. So they don't have a natural body. Their biology is not built. Their anatomy, their blood type, bloodline, their breed of human being is not naturally from hot regions. So when they came into meeting with us or bumping into our tribes and our people, shit like that, and some of us didn't really have clothes on, y'all have to understand. This is another thing I don't understand how black people understand it, and white people too, because they say they found us naked. You have to understand, what do you wear when you go to the beach? Now, if you at the beach all your life, all day long, you hunt out there, you eat out there, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be out there in no boots and no jeans. You're not finna be out there in no big ass coat, no hat. That's why when you run into a lot of these native people, native islanders and South Pacific and Australia, that's why back in the day when they ran into a lot of these tribes that stayed on the coast, they didn't wear a lot of clothes. But the more and more they went inland, the people had on clothes. People had on different stuff, all that big furs and everything. But the more you stay on these coastlines, like the Citadel Islands and all of, you're going to bump into people that don't really wear too much clothes, because common natural sense gonna tell you it's hot as fuck out here. I'm not finna put on all this goddamn, and then we in the water all day. It's fucking fun. We don't have to wear all them goddamn clothes. So y'all, especially white people, you have to stop looking at these people as they primitive or they're poor or they don't have. Because I read a lot of Christopher Columbus stuff, and he talk about how he bumped into these people and they were naked. They look poor. They don't have all, just spitting on dark skinned people. And I really don't like that shit. It's time to get out of this disrespectful mindset that black people and white people got about dark skinned people. We from the tropical regions. We like to be naked. We like to show our shit. But y'all done over sexualize our shit, so it just look different nowadays. But it ain't about no goddamn sex and all that porn shit. This is our natural state of being. We like to be out in the sun. We are sun people. So anywhere that these Europeans bumped into tropical lands, they bumped into tropical people. Now, my point is, when you bump into these tropical lands and tropical people, do they classify themselves as Africans? If you go to the Citadel Islands right now and ask them people, are they Africans? They probably gonna shoot your ass with an arrow. I just did a whole hour long video about this. I'm finna upload it in a minute, but these people will fire your ass down. They not gonna answer no questions. They gonna look at you crazy. They not gonna have no big poster on the side of their island and say, "Oh, we from Africa." None of that. And this island is off the coast of India. That's crazy. And the more and more I look at a map, Australia, they got Australia. I thought Australia was under Africa. Australia kind of like under Asia a little bit. Under India down there kind of in that way. And those indigenous people down there were very dark. Which some of them got straight hair, some of them got curly looking hair. You go to the Solomon Islands and people dark skinned with green eyes and shit. Brown hair and shit. Blonde hair. You got islands where people just dark with blonde hair. It's crazy. You go to anywhere in these tropical regions, you're going to bump into dark-skinned people. Dark-skinned people. And in these tropical regions, let's get something straight. There is an abundance of natural resources that human beings need and consume on a daily basis. Look around you. How you get your clothes, how you get your TVs, how you get your socks, how you whatever your food, your whatever food, water, shelter, whatever you think, everything you need and use on a daily basis breaks down to some type of natural resource. And since these Europeans control the lands, they control the natural resources. Why y'all think they want to buy up all the land? Why you think that's the number one thing? Real estate. You want to buy up all the land. They just got you focused on getting houses now. They ain't focused you on the land, the raw land, the mountains and shit. But why you think they want all the land? Because when you own the land, you can dictate who and what is being used on the land. Who get what, how much they get, what we gonna produce on the land, what mountains and caves we can go in, who can build what on the land. Once you own the land, you can dictate what goes on the land. That's why I say we need to get back into understanding power in our land. But since they got us confused thinking we from Africa, we don't think this our land. So we not collectively doing nothing to improve ourselves over here, because we still stuck in this sunken place that we from over there, that we not from here. And if y'all peep game, they use this same plot and scheme all over the world, everywhere they done went over the past 100 years. Over the past 200-300 years, everywhere that the colonizer done went, he used this same scheme. Christianity. He take your mind off your land. Everywhere he went, Jamaica, Haiti, South Pacific, Brazil, all of South America, Central America, he took Christianity with him. Majority of all those people are Christians. And guess what? Majority of all those people think they come from Africa. They fed the same person that gave them the Bible, gave them the same, that's the same person gave you that out of Africa theory. That's the same person gave you that Adam and Eve theory. But you believe in it so much, you so afraid to get out of it, you will reach in there and try to find something to hold on to. Oh yeah, this gotta be us. Yeah, we the Hebrews. Oh yeah, this gotta be. But whole time you are indigenous. Dark skinned brother, dark skinned sister, you are indigenous. You indigenous. And if you really want to be technical, go research your grandparents. And I'm gonna let y'all know something right now. I've been researching my grandparents for a long time now. I've been following Dane Calloway and all these guys for a long time. But I have always been the one in my family, even before this YouTube shit. When I was growing up, I was always the one in my family to ask questions about my family, about who we was, where we come from. There's never been a time that now one of my grandmas or granddaddies told us we was from Africa or that we had some. The only time I learned about Africa was at school. But what I've come to find out, and I want to share this game with y'all, when you start looking up your ancestral history, don't go too far back, because the more you go back, your grandparents multiply. You're gonna get to a point where you got 15,000, 30,000 great grandparents. You don't want to get that far. That far really don't matter, because at that point you could have ancestors anywhere. Your main ancestors you want to focus on is your grandparents' grandparents. That's where you're going to get your solid ancestral history from, because those people wasn't colonized yet. Your grandparents' grandparents. Go back to about the mid 1800s. Despite of what they say about slavery and the Civil War and all that, because most white people just got over here in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Colonization just happened. Most of these states that we living in today and territories, they just got here in the 1800s and 1900s. They just formed them. Go look up your state history wherever you live, Arkansas, Kentucky, Texas, Alabama. Look up your state history and look at the date of when your state was formed. That's when they finally got shit together and was able to start rocking shit. 1800s, early 1900s. So go back and look for your great grandparents. Like I said, your grandparents' grandparents. So that'll be your great grandparents. Go look them up. Find out what families, what tribes, what all they was from. See if any of those people were from Africa. Cause if they had stories of if they knew they was from Africa, they would have talked about it or wrote about it or said something about it, or it would have been documented on paper on they family history, on they census or whatever. But I've looked up. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 9 of my 16 great grandparents. I'm still looking up a couple other of my grandparents, but all the year I've been researching this shit for about 4-5 years hard. But out of all the years and shit I've been digging up, I done found 9 of my 16 great grandparents, and none of those are from Africa. All of them are from right here, and they I got one of them. One of them I confirmed was a Blackfoot, and one of them other was that Cherokee. 2, 3 of them was Cherokee and stuff like that. See, but I don't really hold on to that stuff. I just know that we from right here. We from right here. Now, if any European American want to go look up their 16 great grandparents, go look up their grandparents. I'm pretty sure they not from here. They not from here. It's only very few of them that's been over here since the 1600s and the 1700s. Because it wasn't nothing but the East Coast going on then. They didn't really take over and migrate over here in a bunch like this until, like I said, the late 1800s, 1900s. So you really have to look up your 16 great-grandparents and see where you physically from and what y'all represent. Because if we can collectively get back into understanding that we Americans, we can understand that we can get back into power over our country. We can put more diversity in this power in this country. Because right now it's just one-sided. And I'm tired of it being one-sided. And it's going to forever be one-sided if we continue to stay in this mind frame of being niggas. Being black African slaves. Being children of Adam and Eve. We from Adam and Eve, and we just spread out all over the world. Get the fuck out of here. Anywhere you go in the tropical regions, you gonna bump into dark skinned people. And these European Caucasians have came into these regions and they seen dollar signs. Cause they've never seen this shit before. They've never seen all these fruits and tomatoes and pineapples and silk and diamond and gold. They never seen all this shit like that before. So with us being abundant We done had it for eons and eons. Of course, we was probably a little generous with it. Of course, we probably a little. Of course, we probably look at it differently than how the Caucasian might have looked at it back in the day. So that's why we in the predicament today. We didn't look at it like it was a profit. We just had it. Shit, it was in our face there. We could walk outside and pick up an apple and eat. We didn't have to sell nothing and put something up for grant and hold shit and mass produce and all this goofy ass shit we do today. Because the Caucasian is in control. And in his mind, he's from the cave. We running out. We running less. We going to run out. Dark ages. You know? White people got a different view on the world than dark-skinned people. Period. And that has a lot to do with why we in the predicament we are in today as people all over the world. Because Caucasians have took over these tropical regions and the most valuable resources that the world need to replenish itself and keep going. But they got you scared thinking the world running out and we overpopulated. We are this, oh, drugs, we this, that. All so they can stay in control of these tropical regions. We got to stop thinking we black nigga slaves, for real. P.S.A. You ain't a nigga, man, for real.